Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a channeled letter from your person. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Silver Sheen Obsidian, along with this letter. Group 2 is the Titanium Aura Quartz, along with this letter. And group 3 is the Smokey Quartz, along with this letter. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Silver Sheen Obsidian, along with this letter, which I will read in a minute. I'm going to start with a little bit of tarot to kind of feel into the energies of what's going on with this person, where they're at right now. Okay, so we have the moon, which is Pisces and Cancer. 4 of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. 4 of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Temperance, which is Sagittarius. The High Priest, or the Hierophant, it's called the High Priest in this deck, which is Taurus energy. And Justice, which is Libra. So it feels like this person is operating in a little bit of denial right now, kind of a stubborn energy, some resistance. They definitely may be coming across energetically to you as very cold, very detached. It might have been a while since you've really felt their energy. It may be something which in a certain capacity is helping you to move forward, almost feeling a space has opened up in between you where you have the ability to kind of reflect on what you want out of this connection moving forward. It's almost like some breathing room has been given in this connection. This person is really keeping a lot to themselves, keeping a lot hidden, trying not to look at the truth of some changes which are occurring within them, some things which are really needing to be balanced out. Both Temperance and Justice are cards of balance, an apology which may be owed to you, or something which they were kind of mistaken about in this connection. Maybe they misjudged you, judged the connection too harshly. The idea of the Hierophant, of the high priest, this can talk about a spiritual awakening or some kind of an ascension that this person is really in this energy of trying to resist. It may be very overwhelming to them, and kind of their defense mechanism is really to shut down, to shut off, with the Four of Pentacles, to kind of close off. They may be trying to resist a heart chakra awakening at this point in time. A lot of kind of signs and synchronicities that is coming through to this person in the dream state with the Four of Swords, because in their active life, the ego is gripping very tightly to the reality that they have known. They are really resisting change. And so it's almost feeling like these energies are needing to really come through to this person to really sort of bypass that gatekeeper of the ego in dreams at night with the moon and the Four of Swords. So there are some shifts happening. This is almost like this person is being recalibrated from the inside out, but a lot of resistance that is taking place to that. If you are feeling them energetically, it may feel very chaotic. You may feel them almost pulling on your energy as they are struggling to really resist and sort of pull back from this, pull back from the changes which are occurring within them, with some kind of realization that they are avoiding, some process of really being humbled, being almost forced to look within. The universe sort of taking these more drastic steps in this case, a little bit of divine intervention that is taking place. With this moon, this is a timeless reading, but when I'm recording this, this is the day of the full moon, blood moon, full lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. And so this eclipse energy, this is kind of right in the middle of eclipse season. This may be affecting this person very strongly. And we have also Taurus here with the Hierophant, with the high priest. So, you know, again, a lot could be shifting and changing for this person. A lot of revelations could be happening. This is definitely the energy of somebody who's on the brink of a breakthrough. They've been dragging their heels along, and yet things are nevertheless changing. Almost the time of choice has passed, and there's this necessary evolution which is needing to take place. The more that this person resists it, the more difficult that it's going to be for them, but change nevertheless is on the horizon. Things need to be balanced. It's reached sort of the conclusion of when this person is able to, really kind of stuff these things down and deny these things. A lot of very uncomfortable energy, a lot of pressure that they may be feeling, a lot that's really being shaken up in their world, all for the purposes of growth. So somebody who, again, is really kind of resistant at this point in time. They may have been resistant to this for quite some time, but maybe just even due to kind of what is happening cosmically at this point in time with the eclipses, with the full moon, coming up on that sort of that 11/11 portal. All of these things really factoring in to, change that is happening for this person energetically, that is, again, beyond their control. This is outside of that element of choice, and it almost feels that they are trying to grip very tightly to their reality, or to a version of how they had been approaching their life, or even this connection that is starting to slip away. This clarity is coming. These revelations are coming in. There's a softening that is wanting to sort of take place, but the ego is really putting up a pretty profound fight, although with the energy of fours, this is again trying to hold on to that stability of the ego mind, of kind of the world that this person has created. They find themselves confronted with forces greater than themselves, with the other cards here, the other four cards being these major arcana. So a massive shift that is in the process of taking place for this person. It's getting ready to take place. It's starting to change sort of on the inside. They are being transformed and almost brought to the next sort of stage of evolution within themselves, within their life, and then in what is possible in this connection moving forward. A lot of resistance and almost just kind of being moved through these changes, regardless of their free will choice, almost, that this is kind of, being swept in that current of just a larger kind of scheme of leveling up that is taking place within the collective, within the world at this time, and just, again, with what is happening cosmically, that this person feels almost very tossed about in this in territory, even emotionally, things they aren't prepared to deal with, things that they have been avoiding for quite some time that are really surfacing from the subconscious, coming through in dreams. This kind of push toward evolution, the push toward even evolving something in this connection, creating some kind of balance, or again, this urge or this nudge that they have to bring forth some kind of an apology, bring forth some kind of communication, but still a lot of energy of resistance and trying to kind of hold back from turning the page in this situation. So I'm going to read the channeled letter from their higher self now and see what do they want to tell you. I don't know how to break the silence between us. The heavy weight of unspoken words is an anvil that I have carried through the cavernous space between us. I thought it would be easier to walk away from you. I thought I could simply move forward and never look back. You are etched in the fibers of my soul, and every effort to extract you has failed miserably. I have tried to banish you from my mind, only to be greeted with obvious reminders in my waking world that bring your memory crashing down upon me like a wave. I have tried binding you to a chapter of my life that has been dismantled in every other way. You are one of the things I never speak of, and few remain in close proximity to me who would dare utter your name. You break free from the sunken chest that lays abandoned in the murky depths of my heart. To the surface of sensation you rise each and every time, like a macabre treasure I own and at times wish I had never plundered. I am frustrated by my inability to escape you, and even though you honor my need for distance in every way, I am haunted by our shared destiny pulling me back in. I hold the words back from you deliberately. I have tarnished so much potential between us. I am on the brink of giving in. So I'm going to get some initials now, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We have C, D, W, J, H, M, X, G, L, N, F, T, R, and O. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled letter, group 1. I hope that everything resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I now also offer pre-recorded video readings, which are sent to you as a private YouTube link. Turnaround time on all readings and letters is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Titanium Aura Quartz. Along with this letter, which I'll read in a minute, I'm going to start with some tarot to get a feel of what's going on with this person right now, where their energies are at. Okay, so we have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. Page of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The High Priest, or the Hierophant, it's called the High Priest in this deck, which is Taurus energy. Eight of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Ace of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And King of Swords, so more air energy. So there is an urge within this person to move forward in this connection, to bring forth some kind of communication, break the silence, break the ice between the two of you, some kind of a gesture with the Page of Cups that they have this desire to present. But there's a feeling of obstacles that are standing within their way at this time. This could be fears within themselves. I'm also getting a fear of what people would think, or even what you would think, for this person to turn back up. Maybe they've had a lot of changes that have occurred within themselves. Somebody who may have also really been in this process of coming into their own and sort of working to rebuild their life in some capacity. A lot of changes, a lot of shifts, having moved away from one kind of previous way of being, maybe moved away from a particular social circle. Maybe they've even had a job change, and they've reached a place of almost certainty with the King of Swords about some other direction that they're needing to go in their life. But they may still be at kind of this very sort of elementary process of doing that, of rebuilding that. And so there's a hesitation on their part, almost that they feel that they're still kind of a work in progress. So holding back that communication a little bit, feeling that perhaps it might be too soon to come forward, that they need some more time to kind of create some stability for themselves, that they find themselves in this kind of period of change, this period of transition, a lot of doors closing to them, a lot of new opportunities opening. These feel like very positive changes that are occurring, something that they are wanting to, for whatever reason, kind of share with you. This may have been sort of seeds of inspiration that you've planted within this person in the past with the Ace of Pentacles, something that you said, or even just the way that you've been conducting yourself in the time since you two went into some kind of separation, or some distance grew between the two of you, that has really inspired this person. Something that they want to really, perhaps even congratulate you on, in terms of growth and change that you have really implemented in your life, really coming into your own, finding your higher purpose, finding your calling, and really following that. But again, this feeling of a little bit of inadequacy, fears of inadequacy, fears of rejection, kind of a doubt that they have about, if you would even be open to seeing them, kind of a sense also that you may have outgrown this connection in some way. You may have outgrown them even spiritually. They are really sensing you as having done a lot of work, a lot of ascension. You've up-leveled in some capacity to where now they're almost feeling that they're needing to play catch up. They're needing to really make up for lost time. So there is this urge to move towards you, but again, really being held back with this Swords energy. It feels like a lot of that is mental. It's again kind of these fears and sort of the worst case scenarios that are keeping them very trapped. That it would take just a very simple gesture, something small, to kind of break the ice in this circumstance. And there's a feeling, this internal compass almost, that points towards you. This can be somebody who also is, kind of participating more in their own ascension journey, in their own kind of spiritual awakening. And the more clarity that they are getting, the more kind of the signs direct them back towards you, direct them to making change in this circumstance. But they're still really, they're really held back by fear at this point in time, and almost feel not just safer in the silence, but almost that there's no other option really at this point in time, that the timing might be off, or that they still are kind of in the midst of, again, these changes happening, this metamorphosis. They haven't fully emerged from the cocoon of the past into sort of that future version, that sort of next version, that better or even best version of self. And so there are a lot of thoughts that are being directed towards you. You may be starting to see signs of them, or feeling that kind of energetic cord between the two of you really starting to vibrate and reverberate a lot more. There's a sense of movement happening just on the other side of your kind of perception. You can sense something has shifted. You can sense kind of a change in the direction, a change in the wind. But there's really not a whole lot of evidence of that, just very little in the material world to support this. But it's really something that is, again, kind of forcing the two of you to kind of rely on that second sight, that deep knowing and that intuition. A lot of trust that is being called for at this point in time, based on sort of what is reverberating, what is happening, and how this is really setting the stage at this point in time for the potential of a new sort of chapter to unfold between the two of you. So I'm going to read the channeled letter from your person, and let's see, what do they want to tell you from their higher self right now. I know I have left you holding all of this love alone. You are not the only one who is appalled by how things seemed to slip through our fingers and unravel between us. It was never my intention to make you feel like a castaway, lost in an ocean of love which was revealed between us. I only wanted to love you, and to have those beautiful eyes see me in the best light, rather than perceive all of my flaws. I thought I could handle what was summoned and unleashed between us. I prayed for you. I begged and negotiated with the universe to deliver your heart to me, to have adoration spilling forth from you for me. When you arrived, when my wish was fulfilled, I recoiled in horror. I never really believed such a love was possible in the flesh, in this place and time. I awakened you and greeted you with a walled-off heart. I know the scales must be balanced, and that I owe a grand debt of love and life, which must be repaid in the end. I run into little pockets to protect my ego and to hide my face from the force of love which follows. Your sunshine taps my shoulder constantly. One day I must turn around and face you. If only I could sleep a little longer. I'm not ready for all the sandcastles I have built to be undone. I wished for love, and you answered the call. I'm sorry I did not recognize your soul. You came with a face I was not expecting. So I'm going to get some initials now, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got T, S, I, Z, F, A, W, O, Y, B, E, U, V, Q, and G. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled letter, group 2. I hope that the messages resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I now offer pre-recorded video readings, which are sent to you as a private YouTube link. Turnaround time on all readings and letters is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. We chose the Smokey Quartz along with this letter, which I will read in a minute. I'm going to start with some tarot to get a feel for what's kind of going on with this person, where they're at energetically and in terms of the connection. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Page of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Seven of Wands, so more fire energy. Ace of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Six of Swords, so more air energy. And Strength, which is Leo. So this person still feels very kind of defensive and guarded about their heart. They may be going through some kind of a heart chakra activation at this point in time that is providing a lot of illumination for them about kind of residual wounds that they have brought forth into this connection that are kind of the ghosts of the past, ways in which they are starting to slowly but surely sort of recognize the role that they have played in the circumstance between you, where they may have really kind of deflected the blame, kind of projected a lot onto you, been very defensive, been very kind of resistant to allow themselves to be transformed by this love in the past. There's still a degree of resistance to that, but with this one sword on the ground here in the Three of Swords, it looks like those defenses are starting to come down a bit. This person's getting some clarity and some recognition with the Page of Wands, this idea of illumination and good news, that instead of kind of the tactic or the approach of running from this connection, that this is worth fighting for on some level. It feels very much to be a small victory with the Six of Swords, you know, kind of slowly moving on, slowly moving beyond any kind of mental resistance that they may have had, slowly making their way toward, you know, this calmer waters, being a little more at ease with maybe the intensity of this connection. starting to kind of take a different approach, where they've really been allowing their ego to kind of run the show, really fearing the intensity of what has been unleashed or sparked within them through this connection. It's a very slow process, and yet some kind of a measurable change has happened. It feels like some major wall has collapsed around their heart that kept them resistant to sort of the flow of energy between the two of you, to the larger picture of what the significance of this connection is. They may be also doing kind of a lot of research about the nature of this connection, why they still feel you, why they can't get you out of their mind, doing a little more research about kind of the process of ascension, some, awakening that they are going through, these ascension symptoms that are happening, that heart chakra awakening. It's these little kind of seeds and bits of clues and information that they're taking in that is... It hasn't germinated into anything massive, no massive shift within them, no huge epiphany or huge awakening within them, but slowly but surely they're moving away from being, directly on the defensive. They're kind of turning their sights elsewhere. They're starting to recognize that what they've really been resisting and fighting in this connection is perhaps sort of the key to an even greater understanding of who they are, a greater experience of love in this lifetime. And even calling it that might be a little bit extreme. There's just something about this energy that they are, between the two of you, that they're very curious about. This is somebody who feels that they're almost on a quest now at this point in time. It feels that they may still be kind of drifting further away from you, but they're taking a different route. Instead of running from this, it's almost like they've gone down a rabbit hole of sorts. Some other kind of path has opened up to them that could, in the long run, kind of bring them back around to you. Kind of what they discover within themselves as they fight through kind of these barriers within themselves, these small revelations that they are having as they are, really discovering themselves, really looking within at kind of their motivations, their worldview, how they've been kind of moving and operating through the world. As these things change, it paves a path that can eventually, again, sort of lead them back in your direction. But this almost feels like somebody that's, going to continue to sort of drift away from you at this point in time. But now they almost have a quest. Now they almost have a purpose. Something has really sparked their interest. Something has really, motivated them to dig a little deeper into themselves than they were previously. Somebody who was just kind of going through the motions or kind of resisting some aspect of awakening. It's now starting to kind of give way to a bit of surrender. It almost just feels like, one wall of a fortress has kind of been brought down. It's diminished. It's not being held up so tightly. And so again, just kind of a small shift that has taken place. But this is something that cumulatively, the more that this person kind of progresses down this path, it does have a lot of potential to kind of lead them back in your direction. They're moving more into a state of inner peace within themselves, starting to come to a place of peace with what has happened between you in the past, kind of peace with how they had been showing up, things they wish they had done better, kind of these unspoken words they may have been carrying around, and just kind of moving into this place of sort of releasing that, focusing their sights elsewhere as opposed to dwelling in a lot of this very heavy energy that in some way was keeping you both sort of stuck in this unconscious energetic cycle with one another. So I'm going to read the channeled letter from your person now and see what do they want you to know from their higher self at this time. You are so strong. It is blinding at times to witness the way you shine. I don't think you are able to perceive yourself as I do. I reach for you constantly, only to have to remind myself you are not mine to touch. I think back on the opportunity that once was open, when our future was still unwritten, and all this sorrow may have been bypassed had I made different choices. I feel like I have failed you again in this life, like this is not the first time my faith in love has been tested, only to have the same miscalculation repeat yet again. I have convinced myself that it is my role to lead, but perhaps I am meant to surrender and to follow. Your intuition is more than instinct, and in a grand cosmic way, you are leading us away from this world of lost promises so that we may finally find our way back home. My best thinking has us looping lifetime after lifetime. It is you who must carry us both, the pure core of what we can be that contrasts the clumsy and tattered version of what my lack of better judgment has wrought for us. I am always with you. Look beyond the details of flesh and claim the larger purpose of our entanglement as the spoils of this warring between light and shadow that you have more than earned. The space between us is an illusion. It's time to give birth to a deeper understanding of love. So I'm going to get some initials for you. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, whatever resonates for you. Got N, X, D, G, C, F, R, V, H, L, K, I, O, Y, E, and T. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled letter, group 3. I hope that everything resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I now offer pre-recorded video readings, which are sent to you as a private YouTube link. Turnaround time on all readings and letters is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.